Hello everyone, JH Medium here. Today we are in Chengdu.
There are literally only two main reasons to visit Chengdu: spicy food and pandas. Join me on this 3-day Chengdu food tour feast, and I'll share with you not only some of my favorite Sichuan dishes, but also some of my favorite dishes in all of China. Of course, if I just eat non-stop, my mouth will catch on fire, so we'll also take a break to see some of the most adorable animals in the world. These two reasons alone will make your Chengdu trip unforgettable. Let's head on over to our first meal of the day.
For our first stop today, we're at this restaurant called Longhu Renjia, and we're gonna have one of the most famous dishes in Chengdu, skewers. Chengdu is considered to be one of the best food cities in China. If there's one thing you have to come to Chengdu and eat first, and that's Chuanchuan, which is basically the super spicy and numbing skewers.
The restaurant is self-service, so you simply go and choose from the entire fridge of food items. It also tells you how long you should cook each skewer for.
We got our skewers over here. Each skewer costs 58 cents. Each of them is just one bite as well. There's all sort of things. There's vegetables, there's meat, they all cost the same price. And then we have to order a hot pot in the middle. But unlike eating traditional hot pot, you eat everything on a skewer. I am so excited for this. I'm gonna place all of the skewers inside the spicy pot. We also got half a tomato pot to cook the vegetables in because I don't like spicy vegetables. But the rest of this meat all goes in the spicy one. Have to cook it for around 3 minutes or so.
这是我这么多年没有来成都应该最想念的一个东西。那进门闻到这个味道，觉得就是一个魂牵梦萦的味道，它又回来了。
There's also a section over here where you can get a lot of different sauces, but I'm gonna try one of these without the sauce first, just the spicy pot. This one is pork belly, and I think there's some cilantro. Oh, it looks so good. It smells so good. I mean, once you walk into this restaurant, this aroma of the chili will just completely blast you in the face. Okay. That is just so delicious. It's a little bit spicier than I expected, but that oiliness coated onto that melt in your mouth pork belly. What a great bite.
就叫做又菜又爱逞强。
And now we're gonna make a bowl of their traditional dipping sauce.
The dipping sauce here is very heavy on the oil. It's basically sesame oil, garlic, spring onions, cilantro, and some like shredded peanuts inside. And I think the oiliness actually helps cut down on the spiciness, at least in theory.
If you don't like this sauce, of course you can customize your own from the sauce station.
Here I got a piece of wood ear mushroom, one of my favorite hot pot ingredients. I'm gonna take it off from the skewer and dip it in this oil sauce. Okay, we are ready for our third round of skewers. I'm gonna put them all in the spicy pot. Look at that smoke, completely covers the camera lens. I feel like something good about the spice here is that it's not lingering. It's spicy when you take the bite, but after like a few seconds, the spice level goes away. Eating a dish like this is so addictive. You just keep on wanting even more skewers. And it's not that filling either because each skewer is just one little piece. When you come visit Chengdu, you absolutely have to eat Chuanchuan. If you can't take that much spice, just order the least spicy one. But then because of the oil sauce and the other pots, I feel like the spice level is acceptable for most people. Cheers. After you eat the skewer, you drop it into this little pot, and then the staff will come over at the end and count how many skewers you have. Take a guess how many skewers we ate today. I think we ate at least 50 or 60 skewers.
我觉得没有那么多，应该30多、40不到。
In the end, both of our estimates were completely wrong. We had 84 skewers. Adding the pot, our meal cost 97 RMB. We made our way over to Kuanzhai, which is a very touristy shopping street here in Chengdu. To be honest, many locals wouldn't recommend coming here, but since I haven't been in Chengdu for so long, I think it's still nice to just walk around. Maybe not to buy anything, but just to enjoy the atmosphere. Literally everything in this store is panda themed. Panda postcards, panda gifts. These panda postcards are absolutely adorable. Pandas eating hot pot. This is like the most Chengdu thing ever. The street food here in Kuanzhai really is a bit pricey, so yeah, I don't recommend eating here. But at least the stationery and postcard shops still have really cute souvenirs you can buy. Kuanzhai literally means wide and narrow alleyways. So the main street over there is the Kuanxiang, the wide alleyways with all the shops. And now we're gonna head over to the Zhaixiang, the narrow alleyway, and see what it looks like.
Even though Kuanzhai has rich history dating back to the Qing dynasty, today it is a heavily commercialized area. But if it's your first time in the city, maybe it's still worth visiting, because you get to see all the famous aspects of Chengdu in this one area. From the traditional buildings, to the street food, Sichuan opera, and most obviously, all the panda elements. Tomorrow we'll go see the real giant pandas ourselves, but now let's go somewhere slightly quieter.
Other than its good food, Chengdu is also really famous for its absolutely horrible weather, especially in the winter time. But today we are really lucky to get blue sky. We made our way to this little museum, and nobody is here actually looking at the museum. They're all taking pictures of the ginkgo tree outside in the courtyard. We've made it to the more modern area of Chengdu, the Chunxi Road area. And right behind us is the IFS shopping mall. And this is like a landmark of the city, a giant panda hanging on to dear life on the building.
Chunxi Road actually refers to one specific road here in Chengdu, but now the entire area surrounding it is a mega popular shopping district. To be honest, a shopping district like this is very similar to other ones in major Chinese cities, but of course with one key difference. And look at all these panda souvenir cards.
I guess they're not actually allowed to sell these on the side of the street, so they're pulling them away to escape from the police.
Now, let's continue our Chengdu food tour.
For dinner today, we're gonna have some famous Sichuan snacks and street food. They actually specialize in douhua, but they have all sorts of other snacks as well. Douhua is like tofu pudding, but usually I associate douhua as a dessert. It's usually sweet. But here, they have the douhua inside a pool of chili oil. I've never seen this before. There's also some deep fried noodles on top, sanzi. This is called a sanzi douhua. Wow, I am so excited to try this. I'm gonna scoop some up with the sanzi and the douhua. Look at that. That is so interesting. You get the very smooth douhua that completely dissolves in your mouth, but then these deep fried noodles give the whole dish this crunch. And I can't really tell if this is savory or sweet. This chili oil is spicy. The douhua itself still has a little bit of sweetness to it. It's a very interesting contrast of flavors and textures. What a cool dish.
为了中和这个辣度，我们还点了冰醉豆花，其实就是酒酿豆花。很香，淡淡的酒酿香味，而且我觉得它甜度控制的也刚好，所以这2碗搭配起来吃，应该是最完美不过了。
Other than the douhua, this restaurant also sells different Sichuan snacks. We got here a hongtang chaoshou, so it's a spicy soup wonton. And here we got the very typical dandan mian. All of these dishes are soaked inside pools of chili oil. I'm gonna mix up the dandan mian. I mean, just visually, you can see that grinded up Sichuan peppercorn. I can immediately feel my mouth getting numb because of those Sichuan peppercorns. It's actually not that spicy. The numbing sensation is more prominent than the spiciness. But yeah, dandan mian is really delicious. Wow. And last but not least, the final dish on the table, hongtang chaoshou. Wontons in this very spicy broth. The wontons are actually very, very big. Oh, just smelling it. You can tell the seasoning of these 3 dishes is probably very similar, but the star of the show is different. That wonton is very meaty. I don't think there's any vegetable fillings inside at all. All of these dishes are so good. Sichuan food really is something that will get you addicted the more you eat it.
作为一个在广东长大的人，其实从小到大对辣的接触是非常非常少的。但是随着年龄的增长，尝的越多，这个扛辣的程度越高，就发现完全打开了一个新世界。就是这次再重新回到成都，真的尝了很多很久以前我来成都只敢拿水涮才能吃的食物。就虽然他们都是辣，但是他们的表现形式、他们的调味还是会有不同的。
My favorite dish of the night is without a doubt the Sanzi Douhua. Douhua is something I have very often because my family in Taiwan actually makes douhua. They make the dessert type. But wow, I love Sanzi, I love douhua, I love spicy food. Add the 3 things together, it might sound kind of strange, but man, is it delicious. Oof, we just finished that meal and my mouth still has that tingly, numbing sensation. But it's so good and it's also very affordable as well. It only cost us 41 RMB for the 4 dishes. Highly recommend trying this store. Right next to the Chunxi Road area, we made it to another Panda-themed post office. This one is the main one. It's really big. All of the postcards are Panda related. They also have pandas visiting different countries. And if you like stamps, there's so many stamps here, Panda stamps and Chengdu stamps for your postcards.
After seeing so many panda-related things today, I can't wait to see them for real tomorrow. Of course, I've seen pandas in zoos before when I was a kid, but the most famous ones are here in Sichuan. Since the panda research base is a bit on the outskirts of the city, we'll first need to go feast on some more incredible food before heading over.
Look how absolutely massive this dish is. Our first stop today, we're at this very local restaurant hidden inside a small alleyway. It's actually recommended by many bloggers and YouTubers. It's really hyped up, so I'm excited to try it as well. This place is just completely insane. You don't order the dishes off a menu. You go up there, they have all the dishes cooked already, and you literally just take whatever you think looks good. Everybody is shouting, recommending which dishes you should take. They seem so passionate about their food. Their most famous dish here is this liangfen, which is like a jelly type of thing. And of course, there's so many chili peppers on top as well. And then this dish, this giant pot over here, I mean, I can't believe its portion size. This is a Maoxuewang. It's one of my favorite dishes from Sichuan. Basically, it's a spicy dish with many different organs inside. There's blood, there's tried spam, and of course, all of it is sitting inside this pool of chili oil. Wow, there's so many dishes here I want to try, but because the portion sizes are so big, I think the two of us can only finish 2 dishes. So anyways, let's dig in and try the Maoxuewang. Maoxuewang might be a dish that frightens a lot of people because it's just organs and mystery meat. But man, in that chili sauce, it's so delicious. And all the organs inside have different textures. For example, the tripe is quite crunchy, the blood is really, really soft, and the intestines give that chewy texture. In this Maoxuewang, we also have this very mysterious looking white piece of organ.
This is called huanghou, which is actually the aorta of a cow or pig.
Incredible, right? They really have all sorts of organs inside this dish. It sort of tastes like a wood-ear mushroom. It has that slightly crunchy texture. Really interesting. Underneath the Maoxuewang, there's also a layer of bean sprouts and noodles. So you get a little bit of vegetables, I guess, in this very organ-heavy dish.
If you're a fan of Sichuan hot pot with its numbing, oily, spicy flavor, you'll enjoy Maoxuewang. It actually originated in Chongqing as a humble dish made with inexpensive ingredients that everyone could enjoy. But now it's a staple of Sichuan cuisine.
If you're here in Chengdu, here in Sichuan, you gotta try this dish. You won't regret it. Now to try the dish that this restaurant is the most famous for, their liangfen. It's so slippery that I can barely pick it up with my chopsticks. And of course, on top of it is a layer of chili sauce. Surprisingly, it's not that spicy, but it's really salty. Ooh. Yeah, I think the saltiness overpowers the spiciness actually. It sort of has the texture of a tofu, but it's more firm and more slippery than a tofu.
You can find variations of liangfen throughout China, but this version is made with wandou, which is a yellow pea. And what makes it so special at this restaurant is the chili sauce on top. It's made with a black bean paste, which has a rich umami savoriness.
Out of the 2 dishes, I definitely prefer the Maoxuewang, but since the liangfen is so famous here, I still think it's worth a try. Coming here as a party of 2 really is a mistake because of the portion sizes. I bet if you have a big group of people, this would be an amazing place to eat because you can try all the different dishes. This restaurant actually spans the entire street. It goes all the way down to the very end. We came in around 11 o'clock and the restaurant was half empty, I guess. Right now it's around 12:30 and it is completely packed to the point where you can barely walk through the street. I guess if you can't read or speak Chinese, this type of restaurant is also a great place to come because you just look at the dishes and choose. It's all self-service. And altogether, it was only 64 RMB. That Maoxuewang itself, if you eat it at a shopping mall, it will be more than 100 RMB, just that one dish.
And now it's time for the activity we've all been waiting for. We made our way to the giant panda research base.
So just a note for all the foreigners visiting, if you book online with your passport number, it might not go through. So it's better if you just buy a physical ticket at the gate. It's the same price anyways. But in the end, I made it in and now let's go see some pandas. The most famous panda in all of China is named Hua. Apparently when she was a baby, she was the cutest panda in the world.
Now she's still the cutest.
But now she's a bit older, so maybe she just looks like a regular panda.
No.
And this entire area is covered with bamboos, the panda's favorite food.
All the pandas here live in designated villas. If you want to see Hua, head to villa number 6. While most of the villas don't require lining up, just look at the massive queue here.
It's like we're lining up to see a big celebrity or something. The worst part about this is that even after lining up, there's still a chance you might not see Hua the panda because he might be hidden in the forest or might be sleeping, might be eating. Who knows?
You can see the panda over there, behind the trees. We're nearly at the front of the viewing platform. I think the one in the back is Hua. After around a 1-hour wait, it's finally our turn.
They're actually a lot bigger than I expected. Huahua has really grown up to a giant panda already.
Since Huahua and her sister 叶子 are the most popular pandas here, you're only allowed less than 5 minutes to see them. But there are many other pandas at the research base that you can watch for as long as you like. So let's go find some more pandas. While we enjoy looking at these adorable animals, let me share some fun facts about them. The giant panda, China's national animal, is mainly found in Sichuan, Shanxi, and Gansu provinces. Their diet is 99% bamboo, and the other 1% consists of whatever they find interesting. An adult panda eats about 20 to 40 kilograms of bamboo per day. Since bamboo doesn't contain many nutrients, they have to keep on eating constantly.
哎呀，我就倒下了。
So happy.
Pandas can also sleep for more than 12 hours a day, and they usually nap for 2 to 4 hours after eating. Even though the movie Kung Fu Panda makes them look like strong fighters, but in reality, they're very clumsy. Honestly, it's a miracle they haven't gone extinct.
如果不排花花园区里有超多其他可爱的熊猫，比如说我们在1号别墅里就正好看到圆润和他的2个崽崽在吃饭，吃完饭又打架，打完架又玩滑梯，太可爱了。
These pandas really know how to enjoy life. They just lie there on the ground with a foot in the air, grabbing the bamboo and feasting. Other than giant pandas, there are also little red pandas here who look like small foxes more than bears.
It's mealtime for the red pandas, and the staff here are banging on metal bowls to get their attention. They immediately know to head to the feeding station. Even though the red panda's main diet is also bamboo, here they're eating some apples, I think. They're so cute as well. The red pandas were actually the original animals to be called panda, which was derived from a term meaning bamboo eater. Genetically, red pandas and giant pandas are completely unrelated. In Chinese, the panda is called 熊猫, meaning bear cat, a bear with traits that resemble a cat. Now let's head to the nursery area to see some baby giant pandas. Look at those fluffy ears!
月亮产房这个园区，所以的熊猫也都比较小只一点，就感觉像一个毛绒娃娃在动一样，太可爱了，感觉很端端的。
It seems like the daily life of a panda is sleep, eat, attack their siblings, and repeat. So if you don't want to line up for 1 hour to see the most famous panda in China, just come to the nursery areas. They're like little balls of fur just rolling around. So adorable. Why do they like biting each other? I'm going to challenge these pandas to a game of mahjong.
It's almost closing time and the pandas finally stop eating. And now it's time for their 4-hour after meal nap.
Why do pandas sleep in such funny positions? One leg up in the air.
这只现在有点自闭的，它是北京奥运吉祥物晶晶的原型。 它就叫做福娃。虽然我觉得这些熊猫它们都长得一模一样，也看不出来它们到底是以谁为原型的。说是谁都好像 make sense。
That's it for our day here in the Panda Research Center. Being a panda must be a very interesting life. You literally have to do nothing all day, just eat and sleep and be cute.
Aside from the delicious Sichuan food, the Panda Research Center is truly the #1 reason to visit Chengdu. Sure, you can see pandas in zoos all over China, and even around the world through panda diplomacy, but it's rare to see this many at once, especially the babies. Watching these pandas will definitely brighten your day.
Look at the weather today. It is quite gloomy. Here in Chengdu during the winter, the weather is always terrible. It's probably one of the cities with the least sunshine hours during the winter. So I think we're pretty lucky to get 2 days of sunshine here already. Even in this terrible weather, we still have to make the most of it. Right now, we're at the Wenshu area, which is a very famous monastery here in Chengdu. We're gonna go eat some street food here, and we're gonna go check out the monastery.
First, we're gonna grab some lunch at one of the most popular street side eateries next to the monastery.
We got 2 noodle dishes, a 碗炸面 and 甜水面. They're both very famous noodle dishes here in Sichuan Province. The 碗炸面kind of looks like a 担担面, like the one we had in the previous day, but they have these peas or beans on top that give it that extra mushy texture. And the 甜水面 uses these really thick noodles, but just like the name suggests, the sauce is actually sweet, so it's a sweet and spicy sauce.
If you want a cheap and delicious snack, you can find these noodle dishes everywhere in Chengdu. After lunch, let's go visit the monastery.
In front of the hall, there is a big Fu sign, and apparently if you go there and pray and then rub the sign, you will get lots of Fu qi, which means you'll get lots of blessings. If you want, you can also get a free incense stick here to participate in the incense burning ceremony. The official instructions are a little bit unclear, so I'm just going to do it as per my understanding. Another must-do activity in Chengdu is come to a tea shop and have some tea. In this cold weather, a hot tea is perfect. We're just at a tea shop right next to Wenshu Yuan. I got some jasmine tea.
In the afternoon, Rika went shopping for a while, and then it's time for the final part of this Chengdu food tour. Another dish you don't want to miss.
For dinner today, we're gonna have Maocai. Maocai is basically a spicy pot, but unlike hot pot, you choose the vegetables and the meat, and then they cook it for you before serving it to you. Just look at that. They serve it to you in a giant bucket. It looks really insane. This time we chose to get the least spicy version because we learned that the ratings of the spiciness in Sichuan is different from the rest of China, but it's still in this pool of red chili oil. We got some tripe and some beef, which are the main meats inside. And then we also got some wood ear mushroom, bean sprouts, tofu, winter melon, all that good stuff, all inside this pot. Similar to what you would get for a hot pot. Let's try the Maocai, and of course, it's a requirement to get some rice to go with it. Let's try the beef first. Wow, even the least spicy level is already super spicy.
After a few bites, you get used to the spiciness, and the dish is actually packed with flavor. The Maocai broth is much thicker than Sichuan hot pot or Chuanchuan. The base of the sauce is doubanjiang, a fermented bean paste used in many Sichuan dishes. The dish is quite heavy and oily, but the spiciness and aromatic flavors are completely infused in every single ingredient.
Whenever I eat hot pot or Maocai, I gotta get tripe, and that's one of the best items in here as well. It's really true that spiciness isn't a flavor. It's literally just pain in your mouth, but it's a good type of pain. It's a pain that makes you feel happy. Maocai is just a faster alternative to hot pot. So if you don't want to sit there and cook the items yourself, but you still want a delicious spicy broth, you gotta try Maocai. What a intense meal. Gotta get some tea to wash it all down.
This trip to Chengdu gave me the best food I've had in a very long time, and it probably made me gain a lot of weight too, but it's all worth it. If I had to choose one meal as my favorite, it would still be the Chuanchuan. Nothing can beat its variety. Sanzi Douhua and Maoxuewang can take the other podium spots. I genuinely loved every single dish I had on this trip. If you can't eat spicy food though, there's still one very good reason to come to Chengdu. Seriously, who doesn't like pandas? So let's just end on that image. Thank you so much for watching, please subscribe and see you in the next one.